Guys, I got another exciting video for you. This is, of course, a massive leak that is about to change everything. Okay, and also we got some new EU news and we got some updates for here in China. So right here, right now in China, we just had the May 1st holiday, and a lot of people left the big cities to go back to their hometowns or go travel. And as always, during these kind of vacation periods, you see congestion at the highway resting areas and especially charging places. People fighting for chargers. The lineups for charging just becomes extreme. And then people, of course, get into altercations, arguments, even physical fights. And we've seen that over and over every single holiday. And of course, this is the great opportunity for Battery Swap to stand out because you're not part of that, right? You don't have to charge, you don't have to get involved in that. But this year, which is very interesting, they started out handing out these kind of tickets, right? Whatever number you get, that's your lineup. Very rudimentary. Whereas with Battery Swap, it's all very digital, right? You come first, then of course you're gonna have first priority for Battery Swap, and it's lined up within the system. You don't get to swap until it's your turn. Before, with charging, before they had this ticketing system, man, you had to line up with your car physically. There's people gonna be cutting in line, and you can't even go to the bathroom because if you do that, someone cuts in line and they get to charge, and it might be an extra hour that you have to wait. So it's just a terrible experience charging on the highway resting areas. But time and time again, Battery Swap has proved to be superior in terms of customer experience compared to just plain old charging. Of course, you can charge if you want. And of course, this year, Onvo, completely free Battery Swap for the highways. And then for NIO, if you have free swap vouchers, it's free. Or if you have free swap privilege, like I do, it's free. But other than that, you have to pay for swap. And NIO's got a lot of swap stations covering all the major highways. So basically, anywhere in China you want to go to, you can swap and can go there just by battery swapping. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of headache because you don't have to line up and fight for chargers, which is, the biggest pain point. This is why, a lot of people, when they go on long distance road trips, they actually drive a gasoline car. Yeah. So there's that. All right. So battery swap proving its how valuable it is once again every single holiday. Okay, we got news number 2. This is, of course, in regards to Europe. There's this article in the Netherlands that said Lamborghini sold 3 times more than NIO in the Netherlands. And this was shared to me by a subscriber. And of course, my reaction is, well, I'm not too surprised, okay? Because, this other subscriber summed it up perfectly. There's virtually no marketing, right? They have a big new house, very nice. They have cars there, they got swap stations there, but people don't know the brand, right? Most people that do know the brand are people that really follow the auto sector. They're interested in cars. But for those regular folks, those everyday civilian who never really does too much research into cars, they just go about their daily lives, they do not know about this brand. So that's why it's very important for marketing, right? And right now it just seems like NIO doesn't have the willingness to spend that budget in Europe for marketing, because marketing is very expensive to buy ads and everything. That's going to cost a lot of money, and it's not guaranteed that you'll see great returns. But of course, clearly without marketing, nobody knows about the brand. They don't even step through the door. So you're kind of in a situation where you're trying to sell cars there, but you're not putting maximum effort, right? If you get what I mean. So I think once the financial situation for NIO improves and maybe they become profitable, they have more money to splash onto marketing. Right now, they're focused more on China. Then perhaps they can, do some more advertising in Europe, in the Netherlands, and hopefully one day, NIO should sell more than Lamborghini. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's news number 2. News number 3. This is, of course, the massive, massive, massive leak. And this is, of course, the patent, a patent leak. And here in this patent, you can see this is for the top screen for the Envoy L90. We know the Envoy L90 has been hyped throughout the past month or so with the Auto Expo and everything. They didn't show off the interior, but here you can actually see what the interior is going to look like. It's going to have a massive screen right up over here, just exactly like how Li Auto has it. And that strategy for Envoy has always been to see what car sells best on the market, try to imitate but add NIO's own flair, design flair, and also battery swap to it, and sell it at a cheaper price for success. Okay, and we've seen that with Envoy 60. Right? You have a very decent, very good competitive car compared to a Model Y. Of course, not selling more than the Model Y, but it's still selling all right. Number 2 or number 3 spot. Okay, keep that in mind. And then the Envoy 90 is a straight copy of the Li Auto L9. It's going to have everything the Li Auto L9 has with NIO's own flair to it. Battery swap, of course. So you can see that. But then also there's this leaked other picture of the interior, the cockpit of the Envoy L90, the inside, the steering wheel. You can see on the side, there's actually these little buttons, physical buttons that you can choose and like change the seat adjustment and all that kind of great stuff. This is very, very nice, guys. And I think, this product, it's going to be cheaper than the Li Auto L9. It's going to have a similar size, great storage. The whole front has been a highlight for the recent hype. And that's something that Li Auto L9 doesn't have, because they got to fit a big generator in the front of the car. So they don't have a front, but this Envoy L90 does. So it's going to have more storage space. It's probably going to have more like features, right? Very similar features, screen, fridge, right? And it's probably going to have a cheaper price. I'm thinking around the price of a Model Y. So under 300,000 for sure, because you don't want it to be too expensive and enter into NIO's price range and really cannibalize the ES6 sales. You don't want to do that. So it's probably going to have its own maybe 260,000 RMB, definitely under 300,000 RMB price. And then if you spec it up, it might potentially go over that. But it's definitely around that price range. And I think it could be a big winner. Right? I think it could be a big winner because good price, good features, everything people want, everything they want in a Li Auto L9, but cheaper and better, right? Better quality, right? Yeah, I said that because NIO never skimps on quality materials, whilst Li Auto has not had the greatest reputation when it comes to the quality of their materials used. You've seen lots of axle breakages and that kind of stuff with the Li Auto. So, this could potentially get a lot of buyers from Li Auto and Leap Motor as well into NIO. Like Leap Motor's entire success has been based on copying Li Auto and then making it for cheaper. Same features, but cheaper car. And has given Leap Motor tremendous success. So here's NIO finally taking a jab. Big screens, fridge, very big car, spacious interior, no range anxiety with battery swap. So this is a formula for success. Will customers pull the trigger? I'm thinking yes. So this could really change everything, all right? It could change everything. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.